Coming up next on YCU News, police released photos from the October 11th robbery at one credit union in Claremont. A car crash Thursday on Route 12 in Charlestown sent 2 people to the hospital by helicopter. And tonight, candidates for Claremont City Council explain why they should be elected. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCU, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth-Lake Sunapee region and central Vermont. News, sports, weather, public affairs, and all that's happening in our area. The news on YCU, your local view.
Good evening. I'm Rose Spillman. Thank you for joining us for this Friday edition of YCU News. New details are emerging about the suspect involved in the noontime robbery of the local credit union. Rose Spillman here with YCU News at the One Credit Union in Claremont with newly released information on the October 11th robbery. Police released photos this morning of the suspect and a detailed description of the car. The bank is offering $10,000 to anyone who can lead to the arrest and conviction of the suspect. Police released surveillance photos of the suspect, who is described as a white man in his 30s. He is of average build and is 5 feet 6 inches to 5 feet 10 inches tall. He has brown hair and brown eyes and speaks with a deep voice. A scar on his forehead ends above his left eyebrow. The scar is at an angle. At the time of the robbery, the suspect in the bank wore blue jeans, a light-colored hooded sweatshirt, and dark shoes, possibly work boots. Remember, the weather was mild that Friday afternoon. The suspect also wore a two-toned winter coat with the sleeves and the top of the coat lighter in color than the bottom half. Dark gloves covered both hands. A black or dark-colored ski mask covered his face. Information about the car the suspect drove also is being released today. Police say the car was a 4-door sedan, a dark maroon car about 10 years old. Its windows are tinted and there is no spoiler or ornament on the car's rear. Its tires are black-walled with aluminum rims. The suspect carried a recyclable shopping bag at the time of the robbery. He also carried a canvas tote bag with leather handles. Claremont police urge anyone with information about the robbery to call them at 603-542-9538. No one was hurt in the robbery. There is no mention of the amount of money taken. A car crash Thursday on Route 12 in Charlestown sent 2 people to the hospital by helicopter. The head-on crash occurred on that long stretch of road from Claremont to Charlestown. The morning collision happened near Lover's Lane in Charlestown. Members of the Charlestown Fire Department rescued the drivers. Both drivers are now patients at Dartmouth Medical Center in Lebanon, New Hampshire. The accident remains under investigation, the Valley News reports. Neither speed nor alcohol appeared to be factors in the crash. Both vehicles were heavily damaged. The crash sent a 23-year-old Walpole, New Hampshire man and 50-year-old Claremont woman to the hospital. Kevin Martell of Walpole was driving southward in a 2002 gray Jeep Cherokee. Melody Curtis of Claremont was in a 1998 Oldsmobile Cutlass. Anyone with information about Thursday's collision is asked to call Charlestown police officer Raymond Gossetis. He can be reached at 603-826-5747. Tonight's the night that candidates for Claremont City Council will explain why he or she believes voters should elect them. The mayor and assistant mayor also are running for re-election. Tuesday, November 5th, is Election Day. The forum will be held in City Council chambers. YCU News will bring you more information about tonight's event on Monday. Now we have the YCU weather forecast for the Connecticut River Valley and Lake Sunapee region. Tomorrow may have a few morning showers with a high of 51 and lows in the 30s. Sunday will have highs in the 50s with a low of 28 degrees. Monday will have temperatures around 53 degrees with lows in the upper 20s. Tuesday and Wednesday will have highs in the upper 40s with lows around 30 degrees. If you're free this Saturday night, head over to Rutland, Vermont for their annual Halloween parade starting at 6:30 p.m. Now it's time for a look at local high school sports. Last night was an intense game between the Stevens and Fall Mountain girls soccer teams. Both teams stepped up their defenses, preventing anyone from scoring. Many attempts were made by both teams to score, but to no avail. It was a 0-0 tie even after overtime. Also yesterday, the Lebanon Raiders boys soccer team defeated Windham 1-0. I'm Rose Spillman for YCU, your local view. Good night.